Hello friends, good evening and welcome to this next video on verbal skills. To begin with, today we are going to start with this topic. This is dissection of verbal skills. We'll be today discussing about what is verbal skills, how it is useful and where it is useful. These are the three questions which will be answered today in this session. Okay, so to begin with, what I have is the next slide. Okay. What do you see in this next slide? A man is baffled, confused, unable to decide which path to go. It looks something like that. Okay. My first question after seeing these images, where are we now? Where are we now? Are we doing our graduation? Are we doing our post graduation? Are we in the process of formal education? Okay, have we just begun our career? So these are the questions, where are we now? And the second question that follows is where we want to go. Maybe if you are a graduate, you wish to go for maybe a government job or maybe private sector job to start your career. You may think about going for post graduation. You may about think about going for other options, whatever is available, maybe something like entrepreneurship. So looking at this image, you may pause the video for a while and think, where are you now? Are you a student in graduation or are you a student in post graduation? And where you want to go? Options are available in front of you. So at most times, graduates or postgraduates choose few of the options which I would like to show you in the next slide. That is usually after graduation. The first option that comes to the mind may be post graduation. Okay, so if you are an engineering candidate, you may think about going for post graduation. The second option that comes to the mind is to join a private sector company, going for a job in private sector. The third option that may come to the mind is going for government jobs, maybe in administrative services like IAS, IPS, or you wish to go for maybe you wish to go for PSUs, public sector units. The fourth and the last option that I remember or I could guess is that you want to become an entrepreneur. You want to work for yourself. Please look at these options available in front of you. All the graduates later on may think of going for entrepreneurship, that is starting their own business or joining their family business. They may also alternatively think of going into private sector units for the job, private sector jobs. Okay, and then there is another option of going into public sector units or for government jobs, administrative jobs like IAS, IPS, or otherwise you will find all these options ultimately end in some or the other business. It may be a private sector business, it may be family owned business, or it may be a startup business, or you are doing the business of the government. The government business is administration of the country or running a public sector unit. So all these are the options which come to you at the end. So let us start with these options. The first option that comes is post graduation, after graduation. If you are an engineering student right now in graduation, you may think about going for ME, that is Masters in Engineering, or you will think about going for MTech or MS in some foreign country. Fine. Or otherwise, you may think of going for non-technical post-graduation, maybe like MBA, MMS, or MSW. It could be any of the three. Most candidates prefer to go for non-technical like MBA also. Now you want to go for suppose ME, MTech, you will think of going for GATE exams. If you want to go for MS, you will prepare for GRE, TOEFL or IELTS. If you think of going for MBA or MSW or MMS, you may think of the respective state common entrance test for MBA or MSW or MMS, or you may think of CAT, MAT, ZAT and so many other exams that follow, maybe like Atma. Okay, so in short, there are entrance exams if you want to go for post graduation. Any post graduation, technical, non-technical, entrance exams are there, right? Now, what is in this entrance exams? You will find aptitude test. You will have quantitative aptitude. You may have uh, logical and reasoning aptitude. You may also have verbal aptitude, right? So this is the place where verbal aptitude comes. If you go for any of the exams like CAT, MAT, ZAT or otherwise TOEFL and IELTS or even in GRE, by default verbal aptitude is everywhere. Only thing is the weightage varies. In some places the weightage is less. If you go to TOEFL or IELTS, the weightage is very high. Now let me go to the next. If you want to go for private sector jobs, maybe through campus placements or maybe through off campus placements, in both these situations you will land up in, again, same aptitude test. Here you will have again maybe technical, non-technical. You may have quantitative aptitude, logical and reasoning aptitude, again verbal aptitude. Some students prefer to go for e-litmus or otherwise AMCAT or CoCubes, whatever. All this by default includes verbal aptitude in varied proportions. If you want to go for government exams, maybe you want to join public sector units run by the government, or you want to go into administrative services like IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS, whatever, or otherwise you want to go for defense services, maybe like CDS or maybe SSB interviews, or you want to go for banking sector like Indian Institute of Banking and Finance and other, leading to probationary officer post with nationalized banks. Everywhere you will find verbal aptitude in varied proportion. By default it is there. It is there. The percentages vary. You want to go for entrepreneurship, you want to start your own company, or otherwise you want to join your family business. Now here what happens, you don't have any exams, but you need to take experience, you need to learn from your experience about running the company, and there again you may have to go for meetings, you may have to send emails, you will find it everywhere. Now my question is, where is verbal skills or verbal ability in your life? Where is it? So what are the options that comes? Number one, life skills. Now what is life skills? All the skills that you require to have a great life, enjoy it, you need to have life skills. So there are variety of life skills, out of which one important life skill is, yes, can you guess what it would be? One important life skill, what it be, what it would be? Okay, that is communication skills. Rightly said, communication skills. Now communication skills can be put into two types. Communication skills can be put into two types. What are those two types? Any guess? Verbal skills and non-verbal skills. When we talk about non-verbal skills, there we will be talking about the body language, we talk about gestures, postures, kinesics, I would say kinesics, proxemics, haptics. So all those things come there in non-verbal skills. Okay, in verbal skills we talk about languages. Languages where we will have to go for understanding vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. When it comes to speaking, pronunciation. So we talk about verbal skills. There is a language, the language has words, sentences, grammar. So let the language be your mother tongue or Hindi, English, Marathi, Japanese, French, Chinese, whatever it is. All the languages have words, sentences, grammar. So when we talk about words, we talk about vocabulary. When we talk about sentences, we talk about grammar. When we talk about speaking skills, we talk about pronunciation. Okay, we talk about pronunciation. So here we talk about LSRW in verbal skills, that is listening, speaking, reading, writing. So all these skills are focused on the language. How could I listen and understand English or French or Chinese or any language for that purpose? Similarly, it applies to speaking, reading and writing. So all these areas put together, that is listening, speaking, reading, writing, plus vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, punctuation you can add, put together goes into verbal skills. Okay, punctuation is again a part of grammar. So what I'm going to now focus is on verbal topics. What are those verbal topics that you need to learn to improve your verbal ability, or you want to score good in verbal aptitude? So what are those topics you need to touch? At least you should be knowing them. So let me start with, first it comes phonetics. In phonetics we talk about the sound, how pronunciation is made of particular letters. Then we talk about syllables, how group of letters come together, or even the words, how they are pronounced. Okay, so we talk about phonetics and syllables. Next comes root words. Now what are these root words? We try to understand the basic word from which the words in English are derived. So that is root words. Why we should learn root words? If we know root words, it's easy for us to understand the words, their meanings, that is synonyms, and their opposite meanings, that is antonyms. So you want to learn synonyms, antonyms, the best method is learning root words. You want to learn spellings, the best method is to learn syllables. You want to appear for verbal analogy. Now this is one type of question which comes in aptitude. You want to know about verbal analogy, you need to have a good knowledge about root words. You want to go for fill in the blanks type of questions, or one word substitution, means maybe a phrase is given, a part of sentence is given, and you need to substitute it with one word. Okay, so you should be knowing that one word whose meaning is put in the form of phrase in a long sentence. This is a kind of question that comes in verbal aptitude, and here you need to be good at synonyms. So what I would like to say, if you want to be good at spellings, synonyms, antonyms, verbal analogy and one word substitution, for all these you have to be good at phonetics, syllables and root words. Of course, phonetics and syllables help you for pronunciation also. Let us go to parts of speech. Parts of speech includes those 8 parts of speech that starts with, probably you know it, that starts with noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, etc. Now, we also talk about punctuations. All the punctuation marks like full stop, comma, colon, semicolon, exclamatory mark, question mark, all those punctuation marks. Next is the tenses, the past, present and the future tense, change in voice, that is active voice and passive voice, and change in speech. Now these are the minimum areas related to grammar which you will be knowing about it. You should also, when we talk about all this, you should also know about the subject verb agreement related rules, law and all that. So why I'm telling all these will help you to appear the verbal aptitude examination. It will improve your verbal skills, and you will be good at verbal aptitude in the following topics. For example, if I start reading them, it's ordering of words and phrases. This is alternatively called as jumbled sentences, or paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is not here, sorry. Next is sentence completion, could be also called as fill in the blanks. Sentence correction, spotting errors in between the sentence, that is error identification. Okay, reading comprehension, a long passage is given, questions follow, you will have to find answers there. Close test, Close test is a paragraph, a passage which is given that has so many blanks and you need to fill those blanks. So these are the other areas which may be included in the aptitude exam. Most important to know is reading comprehension. By default it has a higher weightage when you have to go for aptitude exams. Let me go to the next slide. Speaking skills. Why I'm talking about speaking skills? In communication, when we come across verbal skills, verbal means the language. Of course, we speak a language. So when we talk about verbal skills, we talk about LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing. So speaking comes here. Well, in speaking skills, how is it going to impact your recruitment process, making your career? See, if you are going for campus placement, let it be a technical interview or an HR interview, you need to have good English, isn't it? You should be able to understand the questions they are asking and otherwise give proper answer also. Second point is meetings. Once you start your own company or you join your parents' company or family business, you should be good in attending the meetings. You should be able to speak the language of business, that is English. You need to improve your language. You go for entrepreneurship, you need this. You want to go for marketing or sales assignments, presentation skills, you need to have that English. Group discussion is one point which often we see is conducted during the recruitment process. Group discussion, alternatively, it is how we participate in a meeting, in a company meeting, in a corporate meetings. Again, similar to group discussion, right? Next is storytelling. Of course, when at home, when you are at job, when you speak with people, when you try to impress them, all that you are going to tell them is stories. You talk about business. Business is also a story. What you have come for, what you are expecting, what you want them to do, what you have already done. You will be answering all these questions and they are nothing but stories. And last is presentations, making a PowerPoint presentation, giving a presentation. All these activities, tasks includes speaking skills in the particular language and how good you are, and this is part of verbal ability. So how good is your pronunciation, how good is your choice of words when you are speaking. Next comes reading skills. So how good you are in reading articles. Now these skills are very important when you go for corporate jobs. Reading, report reading. Okay, the report may be some technical report, production report, marketing report, finance report. How good you are in reading reports, how quickly you can read and understand, that comes in report reading. Reading comprehension, you have to have this reading skills for reading comprehension. News report reading or otherwise biography reading, reading a novel, reading a book. Okay, reading comprehension, I told it, as it comes for the aptitude exam. So you need to have a lot of practice in developing reading skills. Let me go to the next, that's writing skills. You go for government exams, you go for private sector jobs, you will have to write a passage, you may have to narrate a story, you may have to go for essay writing, or you may have to go for descriptive writing or report writing. You join a company. In the corporate sector, you will have to prepare reports and send it across to your boss. Okay, so that is report writing. You need to develop those report writing skills. You may have to send emails to your boss, to your colleagues, to your subordinates. So email writing skills or letter writing skills, you need to develop this. Next is notice, circulars. You prepare notice, you send it across to people. You prepare a circular, you send it across to people within your company as a owner of the company, as a leader of the company, or even let it be entrepreneurship or let it be a career oriented job in a private sector or public sector. You need to have habit of preparing notice, circulars. Okay, and last is conversation writing. So maybe people, I don't know how many will be interested in going into writing conversations, maybe writing dialogues for movies, web series, or maybe writing dialogues for serials, TV scene, or some on stage drama, skit. It could be anything. So writing skills. So in short, in today's session, what I'm trying to tell us, wherever you are, maybe you are doing graduation or post graduation, ultimately you are going to land up in doing some business, maybe your own business, that is a startup, or family business, that is entrepreneurship, or you will land up in working for others, maybe government, that is administrative services, or public sector unit, or you will land up in private sector units. In all these situations, you need to develop verbal skills, verbal ability to get into the company and to be able to present properly, or ability to do it to the best possible levels. So this is how I have tried to include everything possible within the given area. So at the end of this session, I would request you to like, comment and subscribe this video. I also would like to let you know that we will be coming up with more topics on this. In case you have any topic in your mind and you are looking for a video on that topic, please let us know on the comment section. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.